So it was only yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, I was on your screen talking about the... how do I say this? Lovely ladies over at The View. And you know, since making that video, I have sat here for the last 24 hours or so, and I've really thought to myself, maybe you guys can help me out because I just don't understand. Why are these women so disliked? No, truly, when you sit here and think about it, their show is groundbreaking. And if you actually listen to what they have to say, it's quite intellectual. Me personally, I find them a delight to listen to, and it doesn't hurt your eardrums whatsoever. And they are going viral once again for those reasons, and it's not because they put out absolute crap. No, not at all. So recently, they had the Fab Five from the show Queer Eye. What a name to call a show, eh? But they were on The View to talk about many things, and of course, because these woke activists are no longer getting their way, oh my gosh, it brings a tear to my eye. They shared a message to the LGBTQ+ community who feel like they're being targeted. I tell you, anything these women can do to try and hate on the current president, they will do. We know their Trump derangement syndrome is on a whole nother level. Anything these women can do to paint a victim narrative so it suits their agenda, they will do. Anything these women can do to push fear onto their audience, they will do. And later on in this video, I'll show you that could not be more obvious. But before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, and we take a listen to the brightest women that America has to offer, let me know if you think The View should be cancelled by leaving a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into it. So The View went ahead and posted this on their official X account, which I'm actually surprised they're still on X with the amount of hate they give people like Elon Musk. But anyway, wake up and pay attention. The Fab Five of the hit show Queer Eye share their message to those feeling targeted in the LGBTQ+ community. You actually missed a few letters out there, so that's actually quite mean, hateful, and it's a form of bigotry, so you should really be ashamed of yourselves. But the LGBTQ+ community, nonetheless, and why they say their show is finding common ground. I bet it is not. Let's get into it.
And Jonathan, many people in the LGBTQ+ community feel they're being targeted, and they are, by this administration.
Yes, they're being targeted by this administration.
Do us a favor. Tell us your message to the community who may feel afraid, who may feel like there's nobody who gets it anymore, and where do I go? What can you say to folks?
I have two messages, and I thought about this a lot. The first is to everybody in the United States, and you taught me this when I was 5 in
I'm not going to say
1992.
anything.
If we want to be somebody, and if we want to go somewhere, we really need to wake up and pay attention. Okay, so I love you so much, and Sister Act is like my reason for existence. And it's season 3, if you need a cameo, I'm here. Okay, now, Sister Act 3, not season 3, Sister Act. Okay, Sister Act. Now, for our community, I think what's so important, I thought about this last night, I was like, has anyone ever said we need to put the unity back in community?
Yes.
Because I think really on the left, it just, with the LGBTQIA+ community, we need to stick together. And we have decades and decades of experience having done this, from post-World War II, the Lavender Scare, the AIDS crisis, through the Defense of Marriage Act era, all the way to now. We've stuck together before. We have to do it more than ever before now. We have to stick together. And that's not only our community, but that's intersectional solidarity.
Yes.
It has to be amongst every community. And let, just we got to be together. So that's the biggest thing that I can think of right now.
Wow. I honestly feel so inspired by that speech. Look, they're on here, right, to paint it like people's rights are being taken away. You know, this new administration has come in and taken so many things from people, but I'm still sat here waiting for people who think like that to tell me what rights are being taken away. And I will be sat here for the rest of my life asking that question, because no rights have been taken away. If you're on about men identifying as women no longer being able to go into their sports, etc., that's not your right in the very first place. Men do not have that right, so there's nothing being taken away from them. In fact, I find it hilarious that these women here can sit there and talk about how the LGBTQ+ community are apparently being targeted, etc., but they never, ever have a woman on that may have gone through a situation where a dude who identifies as a woman went into their safe space or their sport. Why is that? And then if you're also on about, which they probably are, kids now being restricted from getting gender-affirming care, And I'm sorry, you've lost the plot. I mean, looking like that, you've already lost the plot. But kids should be nowhere near that stuff. And the fact people are now getting upset, and they might not say it openly on this show, but I can guarantee you, they think it. The fact now people are getting upset over Trump signing that executive order to restrict kids from getting it tells you all you need to know about these people. Plain and simple.
Well,
It's all clap. It's stunning. It's brave.
because you have your own talk show that explores relationships, family issues, and much like Queer Eye, both shows are about finding common ground with people you wouldn't necessarily think would be able to find any. There are many people in the country right now who feel like there's so much that divides us and so little that unites us. But it's more important.
Yeah, and whose fault is that?
Together, and you say that Queer Eye is more important than ever right now. Tell us about that, because I agree.
I do think Queer Eye, you know, we were around for the first Trump administration. We're around right now with the second administration. Who would have thought we'd have been here? And yes, we do encourage common ground. But I would say the thing that we most encourage is knowing your self-worth, knowing what you should deserve in life. And for me, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, same. I do not deserve a constant headache from the woke activists. What about my feelings?
I'm tired of being curious about you and you not being curious about me. I'm exhausted by it. And what I do love is, like with us on this show, is that we tell people, come here, and we're gonna show you how to protect yourself, how to love yourself, and how to build community. And while we're building community, like you said, that unity, we're gonna also teach you how to fight, and fight for what you want, and fight for what you deserve. Because that's where I'm at in this space right now. There are so many people that I've reached out to across the aisles for many, many times.
And they gotta reach back.
They haven't reached back. And it's time for me to say, when are you gonna be curious about what is going on in my life? When are you gonna say, look at what's going on with families being torn apart. Look at what's going on where people are feeling scared, where there's just children that are scared to go to school because they don't know what's gonna happen. When are you gonna say, well, that's enough? Because I already know it's enough. But it's time for you to know it's enough. And while you're figuring that out, I'm gonna continue to build myself up, love myself, love the people who love me, and us figure out what we gotta do next.
All right. Absolutely. Now I've got the show.
Right, well, I'm done with that. Right, I don't know how these people can sit there and go, we need to find common ground, and I'm tired of reaching out to the other side. Are you crazy? What happens to the people that say anything you don't like? Do I need to go on? Cancellations? Getting banned? Some people in the past have been fired from their jobs. That certainly sounds like a side that is trying to find some common ground. That certainly sounds like a side that is reaching out to the other side to find that common ground. Absolute BS. The BS is so strong, I can smell it from across the pond. I don't know about you guys. If you were truly looking to find some common ground, you would not go ahead and try to cancel people or condemn people for saying things you do not like. You would understand that women do not want biological men in their safe spaces just because they say they're a woman. But as I said at the beginning of this video, this show also likes to push fear, right? That's what they like to do. And I'm leaving it to the end of this video to talk about this part because hopefully that will stop it from getting suppressed as much. As you can see, they had Bill Gates on The View, so they invited the billionaire, to talk about pandemics. And the next pandemic could be far more severe. He goes on to say that the CV-19 pandemic was fairly predictable. Well, it is kind of predictable when maybe, just maybe, you were involved in a certain way. Just say it. And says that there is a lot we should be doing to prepare for the next one. Oh, I'm sure you're preparing for it. It's up to the government to think ahead on behalf of the citizens. So they're already trying to program people into thinking the next pandemic is going to be so scary, it's going to be so bad. Right.
Before COVID, you say you spent the most sleepless nights worrying about pandemics. After COVID, has that changed? And if it has, what keeps you up now? Because we all need to know.
No, we don't.
Yeah, the pandemic, sadly, was fairly predictable. And it won't be the last pandemic. The next one could
and you'll
be
make sure
far
of that
more
one, won't you?
severe. I mean, this one, it millions, it was awful. We got the vaccine, actually President Trump's leadership was factor in getting that out quickly, and so when I spoke to him, I said, okay, here's some other medical innovations, including a thing called an HIV cure that could be accelerated. So, we should be more prepared, both for a pandemic. I'd say that's still number one.
I wonder why you're thinking that, Bill.
Nuclear war, you can worry about AI.
This
There's
sounds like fun.
plenty to worry about. But
do you
overall,
sleep
I'm
at
an
all?
optimist.
Okay.
Well,
No, I mean, you know, it's up to the government to think ahead on behalf of the citizens.
Yes.
So, pandemic, there's a lot that we should be doing that hopefully we'll get our act together before the next one comes. You know, overall.
Before the next one comes? It sounds like somebody knows something's coming, perhaps.
Developing countries, the rich world, you know, I
wonder why that
love
one
being
is.
part of that.
I was reading, though, that you said the next pandemic you are predicting within maybe 25 years. Is
Oh,
that
certainly
accurate?
we'll have one
Oh.
in the next 25 years.
Yeah.
You know, there's even some pathogens out
Why are
there
you smiling
that we're
about it?
watching over right now.
All the money you're going to make?
You know, so maybe 10% chance in the next 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I find interesting, though? When they have, you know, Bill Gates talking about the next pandemic and it's going to be so severe. What happened during the last pandemic, right? We're not going to get into all of it, but people had their freedoms taken away, didn't they? Let's be honest here. People's freedoms were stripped away from them. Yet, they will go on their show and talk about how the freedom of the LGBTQ plus community is being taken away. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. What about the freedom of every single person during the pandemic being taken away? Oh, wait, no. That's an agenda they support. To them, most likely, and you will see it again if it happens, people having to stay inside their homes for a long period of time is something that they should do because the government's telling them to do it. To them, people having to take an experimental shot is something they should do because the government and the scientists are telling them to do so. But if men now can't go into women's sports, then oh my gosh, that's the worst thing. How can the LGBTQ plus community be targeted in this way? People's rights are being taken away. Yeah, left is right, up is down, and common sense is hard to find. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have the LGBTQ plus community apparently being targeted. I don't know how. And then also pushing fear onto people with Bill Gates talking about the next pandemic. Again, I wonder how he knows another one is coming. Pretty strange. Don't know about you guys. Leave your thoughts down below. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description. But until next time, it has been your host JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.